Hi, I'm Jan, and today I want to talk about sabotaging behaviour around money, one of my favourite topics. You see, when we're little munchkins, we are totally reliant on parents and our caregivers to survive in the world. We take in everything that is done and said around us and also to us. Many of our beliefs are formed before the age of 7, and they are there lodged, hiding away in our subconscious mind, our feeling mind. We know that our subconscious runs about 95% of our day to day, but we don't necessarily know what is in the subconscious. And it's a bit like a computer. You mightn't know how it's running or what's running it, but you do know the printout. And our subconscious is like that. It's a program that's in our minds that's running our day to day, but we don't actually know what's there. But we do get a clue of what's running our lives in the outcomes, in the behaviours, in the printout of our own life. These are the clues, the signposts, the nudges the universe sends us to go, you've got to attend to this. Now, I'm going to share a story with you about one of my clients, a gorgeous, gorgeous young woman who's a creative. And she came with the issue of the presenting problem of procrastination and of confusion around money and money blocks. She had a great work ethic. She was able to save some money, even though she had sporadic, being a creative, she had work that came and went, but she had a good work ethic and she was able to save money. But she would save and save and save and get to a couple of thousand, and then push, something would happen. Either become ill, something would break down, and all of a sudden that money that she'd saved was gone. And that also led to some insecurities, because the fact that she was creative, and if there was a hiatus in her work, jobs that came in or gigs that came in, or she was ill, that's also put her under pressure. Now, during our initial discussions, she shared with me that her mum was a teacher and extremely frugal. Her dad, a Vietnam vet, living with PTSD, and he spent all that he earned. So he had a lot of issues to take care of for himself. And her older brother was somebody that would bully her constantly. And we talk about different roles in the family. We all play a role. There's the smart kid, there's the sick kid, there's the carer, and there's the rebel. Now, this girl was the carer. So then I asked her, if I had a magic wand and said abracadabra, meaning as I say I create, that's in Aramaic and also in Hebrew, what do you really, really, really want? And the response was, I want to attract and keep money. Lots of money. Now, the mind doesn't get what lots is. It has to be a specific amount. So when we chisel down a bit more, we got down to some nitty-gritty, we got down to specifics. And she said, I would like to have $20,000 in the bank as a buffer, so that can even out my income as it comes and goes. And I'd like to buy a great lens for my camera, because she had a passion for photography and a passion for travel. So she wanted to be able to do her art and her love and travel at the same time and create a blog. So in hypnosis, we discovered the following. In the first scene, as it emerged, she was 7 years of age. She had, there is no money. They're in a big house and the house is going to be foreclosed on. Mum, being mum, was not prepared to let the house go. So most of her income went on keeping the big house. They couldn't afford heating in winter, and quite often the kids would go, her and her brother would go to school without food. Dad consistently blew all his money, so really he wasn't, in terms of finance, he wasn't really in the picture. Now, people thought that they were well off because of the big house, but the reality was that they weren't at all well off. As a matter of fact, they were quite poverty-stricken in a lot of ways. But she felt that there was a sense of scarcity around money. It came and it went. There was confusion. And she also felt very, very different from the other school kids. In the next scene, she's 10 years of age on a school bus, and she's being bullied by the kids who called her a snob because of this big house. They didn't like her, and she was being rejected. Now, rejection is a big one for kids. It's important to stay part of a tribe to survive. And if we go back to when we were little and reliant on our caregivers, we were totally reliant on them to provide us with our sustenance, to provide us with our love and safety. So to be rejected, back in the reptilian brain, to be rejected meant you wouldn't survive. So the key feelings that are identified in this scene where she was being rejected, it further enforced that she was different to them and she didn't belong. So there's confusion, there was anger, there was sadness. She felt very, very different. In the next scene, she's a 15-year-old teenager working hard at 3 part-time jobs. She brought home a pizza, big family pizza, for the family to eat for dinner. And her brother ate most of it. When she complained, the mother chastised her for complaining and said nothing to the brother, even though she provided the pizza and he ate most of it, most rudely. So the feelings of frustration were locked in then. The feelings of, I can't do anything right, I'm not appreciated, and I'm not loved. In the final scene, she was an 11-year-old, and it's her birthday, and once again mum's given her a check for $75. Now the client's response to that was, well, why not make it $100? You never cash them. I can't cash them anyway. So what's the difference? Her mum went ballistic, screaming, yelling, shaming my client into feeling ungrateful. She felt shame, once again, can't do anything right, not worthy. So even though she had the memory of those in consciousness, she never connected all of those scenes and what they meant together. And what we were able to do using a strategy called the daisy chain was link all the feelings in hypnosis that she came up with via these scenes and how they attribute to what she felt around money in a day-to-day now, which is procrastination, being confused about money coming in but money going out, never being able to keep it. And all of those scenes the subconscious knows, the mind knows what you need to see in hypnosis and presents exactly what needs to be presented for you to look at and examine. And you really can't fix something that you don't understand. So that's the importance of linking those locked in beliefs that were locked in as a child to the behaviour that's being experienced as an adult. Using RTT, which is Rapid Transformational Therapy, we were able to understand when, where, why and how those events led to her present behaviour and her present issue. By identifying the root cause of her procrastination, the confusion around money and the money blocks, we were able to reframe those and rewire the negative beliefs. It was an amazing revelation to her to make those connections that she'd never made before. Those experiences in her much younger life that then translated to adult behaviour. She was able then to look at those in a reframed state as an adult and really accept them for what they were and not have it to carry on the behaviour of what those beliefs translated to in her adult world. So her experience with money and her relationship with money was vastly changed. We created a new neural pathways, and I describe these like little silver threads, and then created a very powerful, bespoke, transformational audio that you need to listen to for 21 days because neurons that fire together wire together. So each time you listen to an audio affirming the new beliefs, we've created the new belief, that's fine, silver thread. Each time that the audio is listened to, that thread, that silver thread, gets longer, stronger, thicker, brighter. And 21 days will change a behaviour and a belief. So she's got a van and she's off happily taking photos and creating her blog. I look forward to working with you. You want change in your life, you have to be the change in your life.